page 30, we had this example, this plan for the day we will mostly follow. We're just going to stick in a little bit beforehand to complete the part of markers of stabilization.
What did you just see? Tell me what you just saw. You saw perfect, constant, relentless attunement. And you saw it keep going, relentless. My sense is so many therapists, they naturally go there because they want to help people. That's why they're therapists. They go there, but they kind of go there and then they don't know what to do with it, so they sort of give up. The central difference in EFT is you stay in the emotional channel. You follow, and then of course you do know you do have to know where to go, and Laurie showed that beautifully. But what you saw was amazing attunement, and a lot of what happened there is just because Laurie stayed with her. Laurie validated her and stayed with her and ordered her experience as she stayed in the experience. She directed her back. She ordered it. She kept the emotion going. She kept following the emotion. She kept ordering the emotion. The emotion has its own momentum. It keeps going, right? And then, when the person comes up with blocks, you validate that, right? You work with that a little bit. But Laurie just kept taking her there. And because Laurie was safe, holding her hand, focused, the reflections kept keeping her attuned. It's like you pick up on the momentum of the emotion, and the emotion keeps going. So you just saw a brilliant session.
So you guys, I want to tell you as well that if you turn in your handout to page 38 and 39, there's some comments about each section that we can watch. So if you can, but if you have only one device and you can't, that's fine as well. But if you want to know, it's page 38 and 39. So one of the things that Sue's commented on is this momentum of emotion. So I want you to as you listen, to listen for examples of that. Also, so the first clip that we're going to watch is going to be minute 13 to 17. So you're going to hear, her mother has died. Geez, I keep forgetting. Is it 5 years ago? So when she was she's 26, 27 now, she was 21. Her mother was like her best friend. Her mother died suddenly in her sleep. They didn't know she was sick. So in the first little clip I'm going to show you, just watch for examples of tracking and ordering experience. Watch for how I try to move from the general, the vague, to something more clearly distilled. See in a bit that there's times where I say, can you say that out loud? Because even though she's doing it because she's so constrained, because it's so risky to say to her mother that she's angry with her or blames her for dying, or whatever it is, I can't remember the exact words I ask her to repeat to heighten it. Because I often do that. Can you say it again, right? Because it becomes even more alive. I'll say, can you say that out loud, right? That's another level of risk. So I think, again, it's following the emotion. And if it feels like maybe it's not quite as real, to say it out loud. But does that answer your question, Dimitri?
Yeah.
Because maybe when you see me do it with her, that will answer that a little bit. And I think this other question that Emily is asking is that we can we can create a corrective emotional experience with an encounter, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is going to feel safe to do it in real life. And that's exactly right. This woman her mother's not living anymore, but the one you'll see this afternoon would definitely not be something that she would say it in real life. So I'm going to play now. I'm going to continue on here. In the next part, I want to just remind you of how we can distinguish stage 1 change events from stage 2. One of the things you guys were hopefully discussing now was how what I was doing would lead towards stabilization, right? Increasing awareness that this is the pattern that she's stuck in. More acceptance of being in this conflict between holding on, not wanting to hold on, between being angry, not wanting to be angry. So there's more coherence and more stability. So what happens in stage 2 that's different than stage 1, and I feel the next few minutes of this session can give you some experience of the different quality, is that emotion is followed and expanded into greater depths and with more coherence. That fearful and painful emotion is experienced in fresh and new ways. So that's really, that's exciting, and that's what you see on the experiencing scale. And once you get into levels 5, 6, and 7. And the encounters restructure emotional experience. So it changes the experience and shapes new ways for clients to engage with their own experience, or with with others, and with unchangeable circumstances and laws.